A lot of people in our culture, the first thing that they do is involved with coffee. They flip that switch that gets Mr. Coffee running. I mean, everybody kind of like has their own little routine. Some people take it with cream, some people take it with sugar, some people like it black, some people like it non-fat. Everybody has their own thing. The things that happen in a coffee house are like really magical things. The space has this comfortability that comes with it. The social interactions and the social meaningfulness of coffee culture is a powerful thing.
My name's Craig Min. I'm the founder and CEO of LaMille Coffee.
My name is Eric Sisley. I am the lead roaster here at LaMille Coffee.
My name is Thomas Hodges. I'm the director of coffee for LaMille Coffee.
I really fell in love with coffee when I was 12, and that's kind of my first contact, first experience when I started roasting. And from 12 to probably 17, I've probably close to 1 million pounds of roasting myself. So that was kind of the relationship years where, you know, I started to understand coffee and started to fall in love with it. Basically at LaMille, what we do is we travel the world, we foster relationships. Once we identify a region and a producer that we really want to work with, we'll start to develop a coffee with them. After it's harvested and after it's processed, and it's stored in a temperature and humidity controlled warehouse, ready for us to draw here in Telehammer to roast.
On my first day, I walked through that door, saw that machine over there, and I knew that was what I wanted to do. The development of a roaster takes years. You nurture the coffee along according to what it is and which origin it comes from and what you want to bring out of that coffee. We use all our senses and it's exciting. Every single batch is different, it's its own entity. And once a roaster grows to the point where they can begin to control the flavor of coffee through the movements and actions they take on a machine, that's sort of the birth of a craft roaster.
Roasting's all about making a lot of choices. You manipulate the coffee. The coffee will possess some attributes that are more intense than others. It might taste like lemons, it might taste like blackberries. Every season's different. Yeah, you have to figure it out each time. And that's the whole process, that's fun. It's like getting to know a person, but it's not until we've spent a lot of time together that we really get to know somebody. It's the same thing with a cup of coffee.
You're guiding something. You drop coffee inside a machine and the coffee begins to move forward on a little journey. And when you're making moves and progressing it along, you have to go with what you do. Once you've made a move, you can't go back. So it's a tight game, but it's also just going with it. And we're striving to do, you know, the best shot every time.
We have a huge burden on our shoulders to honor the person that grew that coffee and all the hands that coffee's touched. We as roasting people have a need to make that coffee shine because it took so much effort to get here.
There's just the honor of being that person, you know, who has the responsibility to create the product that is the image of LaMille. I mean, what goes out there is done by my hand, and that makes me very proud of you know, being given that task.
A perfect cup of coffee is made with love, picked with love, processed with love, shipped with love, received with love, roasted with love, served with love.
Every day I come here and I mean, I'm smiling. I think I'm the luckiest guy.
My name's James Freeman. I started Blue Bottle Coffee in 2002.
My name is Bennett, and I'm a barista with Blue Bottle Coffee Company.
Before I started Blue Bottle Coffee, I was a clarinet player, so I used to play in different ensembles around the Bay Area, and I got super burnt out on clarinet, and this was my little wacky plan B. Plan A kind of sucked. Plan A was making me miserable, so plan B is making me happy. My parents drank MJB coffee, and I used to beg to open the can of coffee. It smelled so good. So then there was this prolonged begging campaign, and they finally relented. And so they poured me a little bit, and I tried it, and it was just like, this is so horrible. It's like that early traumatic experience. It pushed me towards a career trying to harmonize the taste and the smell. Coffee is so delicious. It's like one of those miracle products that tastes so good. It makes you smarter, more energetic, more charming, happier. It's just continually fascinating. Just the process of growing it, bringing it into the country, roasting it, serving it. You know, it's a shared cultural experience that we have. The regulars that come in, you know, want to be part of that, want to interact with the baristas and other customers. It's not just because they want a delicious drink made by professionals, but they want to participate in that ritual.
They say that 2,000 hours of work goes into making a cup of coffee, from the time that you germinate a seed to the time that you brew it and serve it. You have to take pride in it. You're the very tail end of a chain to like make this thing possible for someone.
Cupping is a standardized way of trying different coffees in close proximity. So you have about, 10 grams or so of coffee on the bottom of this soup bowl. You fill it up with, 150 milliliters of water. You let it cool, and then you break the crust so you can really smell it. And then you slurp it sequentially several times. You can really taste the differences between coffees. Even two identical roasts will be slightly different. Yesterday's coffee will taste different than the day before. I do think it's nice when people start noticing what the coffee tastes like before they add anything.
This is a siphon coffee pot. We're using a scientific process to make coffee. And by a scientific process, I mean we're using hot water, we're using this organic ingredient, and we want to extract the deliciousness out of the coffee. Deliciousness is my primary concern. The art in this is in what we call dialing in. Taking that coffee, using different doses of that coffee, grinding the coffee to a different grind quality, and changing those variables that we have to use to create what we think is really delicious.
Ultimately, it's a subjective assessment, We can put however many numbers we want onto this, but it's a question of what do we enjoy more, what do we think our customers will enjoy more. It's all of these objective factors going into ultimately a deeply subjective experience, which is how does this coffee taste to me?
My name is Michael Phillips. I'm a founder at Handsome Coffee Roasters.
My name is Chris Owens, and I'm co-founder of Handsome Coffee Roasters.
My name is Tyler, and I co-own Handsome Coffee Roasters. We refer to this as a hospitality business that sells great coffee. We had this identity figured out. It was about craft, it was about sort of old-timiness, it was about sort of a throwback to the general store, the local butcher.
The menu at Handsome Coffee Roasters is espresso, and then we have what we refer to as espresso and milk. And then we also have 2 filter coffee offerings available every day. Everyone has a slightly different concept of what a cappuccino is, or a macchiato is, or a latte is. And all that really does is create tension. All of those different names, they just mean espresso with milk. And we just want to no, you know what? We're going to make you a delicious beverage. Just tell us what size you want. We wanted to present that in a very comfortable way.
We're not making coffee for everybody, but we're making coffee for you. At the same point in time, you're everybody. For so many people, the way to be turned on to specialty coffee is just to hear the most basic components of it because they're compelling.
There's all these different things and experiences and regions and roasts and varieties and all this other stuff that you can participate in, brew methods, everything. And that's what's great. It's like exploring those different options and being open to those different tastes and those different ideas. For us, it's a really exciting world on the other side, and it's kind of our chocolate factory, you know what I mean? Our Willy Wonka, it's like we want to kind of make it accessible for everyone. Everyone is welcome. We want to invite you into our world and show you how fun it can be. You don't have to like all of it, just let us show you.
At the level we're doing it, coffee is important to people because it's a ritual. Oftentimes, coffee is the bright spot in your day.
We want anybody to be able to walk through that door, and for us to have the empathy to be able to look at them and be like, all right, where are they coming at this from?
Who knows, maybe you're not feeling great, maybe you have a job that you don't like, and you can be here for 2 minutes and just get a cup of coffee and a warm smile. It's just a little high point in someone's day, and that's really the foundation for the whole business. We encourage people to come in and have a conversation. You know, all the seating is communal. You can strike up a conversation with a stranger. Chances are you're going to run into someone you know from the neighborhood, and it's really become what we always dreamed of, is this neighborhood spot.
And it's really just about building communities and connecting those communities, and that's the thing that excites me. Like I want the customer that walks in the door to know the farmer that I visited in Honduras and know their story and realize how many lives it touches, and remove all these different ideas about what coffee should be, and let's just explore what coffee can be.